Underdog Daily, BadgeBros, Jon and Nez. Very exciting time to be on the platform of the people, aka the black and yellow dog app, aka Underdog Fantasy. Tons of stuff going on, man. Big board, little board, biggest board, all the boards you want just dropped for you NFL sickos there in the contest lobbies. We got 15K up top for NBA today, followed by 2 dog bowl slates this week. I just dropped some thumbs up there. Pete teased it on Friday's show. We're going to have a very special off and on the clock edition of NBA for the Dog Bowl on Friday there. And then we're obviously going to have one on Wednesday to break that full slate down. Tomorrow, Nez and I are going to do what we do best. We're going back to our roots. We're going back to the MLB streets. We are going to dinger it up. We are going to do a couple dinger drafts tomorrow, talk about the ADP landscape, all that sort of stuff, and then we will have some form of paywall content on Thursday for everyone there. So loaded week ahead for us and loaded lobbies right now for everyone. Nez, how we doing, bro?
Doing well, dude. Doing well. I mean, right now this hoop slate has my entire attention. 125K, 15K to first. So 12 games. It's got my attention right now, and these big slates are tough, super tough. A lot to balance in the 6th round mostly.
Yeah, no, it's very odd that in a 12 game slate, especially with the prize pool like this large and stuff like that, and the contest size following to be this large, that the 6 should be the best. This should be the most optimal scrolling conditions that we have. And yet it never feels that way, because it always feels like, man, how do I pass on a falling Alfred Sengun? How do I pass on, something like that? Because the names are guys we're accustomed to taking in the 1st round, 2nd round throughout, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like today, right now, I'm trying to, scroll, like you mentioned, to various names. And then like I keep getting Jaren Jackson Jr. in the 6th round. Like if that's wrong, I don't want to be right. Like I'm playing the hits, and I still got a lot of main slate drafts yet to go. But yeah, I'm like, if you guys are giving me Jaren Jackson Jr. in the 6th round, man, like unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to keep taking it. Like I don't know how else to play these games.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, that was a very appropriate way of articulating the thought there. That it's like, it feels like we should have the best scrolls ever because we're not scrolling to dust balls. Like we're just scrolling to guys who are 2 fantasy points away in terms of projection, but still project for like 36, 38 fantasy points. And yet it feels so hard to do sometimes.
Oh yeah, I'm struggling big time.
Yeah, some very interesting stuff in the chat right here. Our guy Chandler Blake, CR Blake, dropping by to gift out 20 BadgeBros memberships. Mad respect to you. Much love to you. Already cashed a Dog Bowl seat. I guess that was Dog Bowl qualifier number 5 there. So mad respect to you, man. Appreciate that so much.
That's awesome, man. Shout out Blake, dude. He's been around for a while. OG member. 2nd Dog Bowl for Blake too. So yeah, that's awesome.
Multi-sport drafthlete, OG football participant there. We got some other winners in the chat here. We saw Awin take a seat on Thursday, something like that. Thursday, I think, last week. Best Ball Viper as well. So mad respect to you guys there. Yes, the love is mutual, my guy Blake. Yeah, Nez, how'd your weekend go? Just in general here. I played my most hoops slates that I had played on a weekend in a long time. I think I played 150 total entries or 125 total entries on Saturday there. I just had an afternoon and a day to myself. Felt the most confident I'd felt in a long time about a slate. Went all in on this slate. And it was my worst day of the season. So funny how that shit turns out. But yeah, man, how'd you do over the weekend?
Saturday was a bloodbath, dude. Saturday was very, very poor for your boy. Josh Hart, 64 ball in the 6th round will do that. I wasn't necessarily on that play a whole lot. On Yeka Okonkwo, also just like going nuts at 50 ball. I wasn't on those guys as much as I needed to be. So that was that resulted in a very painful Saturday night.
I
I did go to the Mavericks game on Saturday though. So
I was about
there's
to
that.
ask.
I
I was
got my
about to
EV
ask.
there.
So give me the lay of the land there. That was courtesy of the good people at Underdog Fantasy there. So how'd that
Yeah.
come to be, and how was the experience?
So one of the VIP hosts that we met at the Dog Bowl, his name was Ryan, hit me up on Friday and was like, "Yo, if if you're free, I've got 2 tickets for you for the Mavericks game." I'm like, "Dude, awesome! I guess I, must be just absolutely punting on Pick Ems or something, man." I'm like, "Oh, all right, cool.
He's like,
Let's go to the game."
I see Nez behind the paywall all the time. He's doing the Lord's work out here for the pickups. Yeah,
we got to reward him for these sliders, man. He's put sliders on the map. We got to give him some props. So I went and I think it was partly to like try to get some more content people in there to like talk with the other people in there, which I did talk to some very very interesting folk in the suites. I brought a buddy with me. It was a good time, man. It was a good time. The Celtics kicked ass against the Mavericks that night or that day. It was like a 4:30 game.
Yeah, it was like,
but
it was really.
yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. I was flattered that he asked me, man. So that was pretty cool. So
Nice, man. Underdog
my day.
Fantasy, true to form there by serving it up with the sweet life, huh? I didn't realize it was 2 tickets to the game is a little different than 2 tickets to the suite for the game.
Yeah, I went nuts on the nacho bar. I was saving up my appetite all day.
That's good, dude. Yo, who were some of the people that you met in the booth there, or like other
Just
content or anything?
Big Pick'em grinders. There
okay.
wasn't any other like content people there. Just like I go to a guy and he's like, who's the betting expert here? And I'm like, well, I'm not an expert, but I know how to make good picks. And so we were like, I'm trying to make picks, and oh, dude, it was awesome. He was showing me what he had going on. Light mode user. I'm like,
oh no.
So we tried to put something together, and just man. Like I tried to get him to watch. I'm like, dude, you got to sub to BadgeBros. I'm like, I love your enthusiasm right now. I hear you. Your reasoning on why you think Kyrie is revenge game against the Celtics and you want to take the hires. I get it, brother. But sub to BadgeBros and we can help you win more money, and then you can do more revenge game narratives later down the road. Oh, it was awesome, dude. It was so funny. I'll tell you more.
Yeah, that's good, man. That is that's good, clean fun there. I love it. Nez, you watched the ball games yesterday. Did you sneak any playoff teams through? Did you have any success in the BR streets?
BR streets, no, I did not. But that was sort of to be expected, right?
Sure.
I mean, like those games are challenging. We know what they are. It is what it is when it comes to like how you have success in some of those big slates. So I focused on some of the smaller slates. Didn't necessarily have the success that I wanted because I was so heavy on Kelsey 102, which I told you last week. I was like, I'm definitely chasing the puck and not to where the puck is going. And that's 100% what happened to me. I took a pretty big L, but I didn't have too much volume in NFL BRs, just knowing how I thought about the slate. But I did get 2 NFL playoff best ball teams to the finals, man.
Nice. Beautiful.
They're not live, but the Gauntlet and the Mitten. And I have a Saquon and AJ Brown team in the Gauntlet. And I'll tell you what, man, I don't see a whole lot of AJ Brown teams.
It was hard to
Brown
push
puts
through.
up 100 fantasy points. Do you think I have a shot?
I mean, if he puts up 100, you might be directionally accurate. You might finish 46th, something like that.
if I ladder up 100 spots, like I get an extra 1,000. So like I think I fucking take that. I think I should be like a little bit above like a min cash.
Okay.
For this, if AJ Brown can do his thing, because it's AJ Brown and Saquon, which I think 90% of the field will have Saquon, I'd imagine.
I imagine so. Yeah, he's just been the absolute juggernaut, pushed you through every single week, balling the F out. Like he's kind of going to be the stone cold. Yeah, I mean, 90% seems spot on. I don't even know how else you could have pushed through a running back spot this week because I don't think anybody had Will Shipley. I don't think anybody could have done it with anyone else other than maybe a
The,
Kareem Hunt.
the only way that I could see this happening is like, dude, the pods were brutal. I saw a lot of people with really good teams not make it out of their pod, and then you have teams like me where I had Saquon to push me through, but I think there's probably going to be a handful of lineups that didn't have Saquon that were just had great pod luck.
Okay.
Blake mentioning James Cook in the chat that
James
could be,
Cook. Yeah, that's my bad. Yeah.
but like, how do you have a live team if James Cook is one of your running backs because he was a first or second round pick for you.
Right.
So it's really interesting, man. Playoff baseball is such a fun game, but it's also very unforgiving with these pods. But that's also part of the fun.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Justin saying you got a Cook team through, but it's also dead. So it's dead because it's James Cook. Man, James Cook's usage was kind of frustrating, man. I mean, both Barkley and him on the weekend there. I think one was 8.9 yards per carry, or one was like 8.3 yards per carry, and the other was like 7.9. They're ripping off these long ones and stuff like that. Both well over 100 yards and the 2 touchdowns, that sort of deal. But just not using James Cook enough, in my estimation. I mean, dude looked so good, and then they still just relentless on going back to the Ty Johnson. Third down sets and stuff when they're trailing late in that ball game.
I'm not. It's hard to make sense of that.
Yeah. All right, dude. Let's take a peek at some of the stuff that happened over the weekend. There, I will do that. I'll do that. Give that a stretch. How's that look? Does it fill the thing yet?
Yeah. I was just like, I was confused because when you first pulled this up, Ellie De La Cruz, his name to me looked like Lil Uzi Vert. I thought, I don't know why. I mean, I need glasses so badly, dude. I swear to God that Ellie De La Cruz's name was Lil Uzi Vert when you first pulled up. Chat, go back to whenever John first put up the rankings and tell me that didn't look like Lil Uzi. Like, please, somebody save me.
Someone save you, that you're not just on an island here. Take a little peek at the stuff from the weekend. I was fortunate enough to sneak one team through there. I got 67 in. Unfortunately, missed the bombs and missed the fullback dive finishing there. So I got 5 and 5 of those. And then I did most of that early in the week. $7 main battle royale. I got 50 in there for that one. Shout out to O'Reels who took it down here. Had that Hurts, Saquon, and James Cook, AJ Brown, and then Zach Ertz plays this kind of game environment thing with that stack, and then plays 2 Buffalo pieces with a scroll the F down of Mac Hollins with the final pick. Fucking badass team here to get a super GM with like the first, super GM for the first 3 picks of Cook, Barkley, and AJ Brown. And then the rest of it was pretty easy to parse through and put together. But to scroll down to Mac Hollins after getting that start is alpha play, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's a hell of a way to win. You love it, man. Not just not satisfied enough with the GM. Needs to scroll down and say, I need to make sure I solidify this first place team with a scroll. Yeah, man. Shout out Mac Hollins. Shout out to Unabated too, telling us that Mac Hollins was a hell of a pick on that pick'em.
Yeah, that market-based pick'em was like 9 yards off, and Mac Hollins smashed the shit out of that. I just got Rui Hachimura ruled out for this evening. So we just got a little bit of NBA news while we're talking about this one. Any other contests you guys want me to look at? I know we had a lot of tags and whatever in the Discords and that sort of stuff. I know Pepper Tony's a longtime viewer, always watched the off-season stuff, like the basketball stuff, and was in drafts with us all the time. So shout out Pepper Tony, got his badge in recent memory. He didn't have it during the summer, so he must have got it before then. But, just a really cromulent, intelligent team here. Getting that AJ Brown plus Saquon was the stuff you needed.
Yeah, I mean, A lot of these winners had some pretty nice starts.
Yeah, the AJ Brown fall early in the week was basically what you needed for the vast majority of these contests, right? Because like AJ Brown, as the week went on and projections went up and our show went up and we put him on the cover and it was like, dude, we can't be passing up on AJ Brown over Terry McLaurin and whatever. I mean, Terry McLaurin houses that slant or whatever. Terry McLaurin did nothing outside of that. Like one isolated play. AJ Brown was kind of what we alluded to. I was like, this guy's a WR1 all week. So was really happy to see that play get home and was my highest owned at 48%, but didn't matter because I wasn't able to pair it with Saquon almost at all.
Yeah, name of the game, man.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Mad respect. Shout outs to you guys who got stuff home over the weekend there. I said I played that NBA slate. Obviously, there was no slate on Sunday, just one game yesterday. I got 101, Ian. That's what I ended up doing there. Yeah, but this gotta give a shout out to Benair 724 taking the double scoop at the top of the leaderboard. Pretty epic. That's that one deserved a shout.
That type of night, man.
Yeah.
That type of night.
Yeah. Very nice stuff here. That Josh Hart in the last round. I don't know how I got cooked so bad on this slate. I must have done. Oh, it was John Morant because I had a decent amount of Hart too. I think. Oh, maybe not. Nope. Never mind. 9%. Never mind.
Yeah, John Morant just robbed everybody blind.
43% Ja. That'll do it. That'll do it right there.
Yep. Yeah, he took all my money. and Trae Young as well, John.
Trae.
We can't let Trae Young off the hook.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting what we do with Atlanta tonight. That's going to be a fun one to talk through because there might be a most important guy in the world here, Desi.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, he doesn't want it. Des does not want this scroll the F down smoke. He is not mentally prepared for how deep in the well I'm about to go with this one.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh, shoot. All right, Des. Anything you want to say macro for drafting landscape for this evening and stuff? Just looking at ADP, you guys can see my ranks there. We'll go game by game, but pretty clean with no back-to-backs and the fact that it is a like a larger slate. We're not dealing with many Q tags on this one. We already got DeJounte Murray ruled in. Pirtle is a Q tag at the back there, but all injury reports are filed. And man, like Josh Hart is the only Q tag that gets drafted routinely.
Yeah. Like you mentioned, it's pretty clean as far as that front goes, which is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we do have some players out, but like for the most part, yeah, it's really easy to parse through, which to me makes it like easier to kind of wait. I don't feel the need to rush and get lineups in and get CLV in because I feel like we kind of know what's up today, and maybe waiting for news could potentially be beneficial today, and waiting to see in case we get some late news and some late Q tags, being able to act on that stuff could be beneficial. So I don't see a need to like rush to get my volume in, at least.
Yeah, I respect that take today, especially when like you're dealing with the front end of draft boards that have some really strong plays that you don't feel like, I got to chase these Q tag combos, right?
Yeah. There's not a whole lot to like. There's not a lot of movement in these streets, in my in my view.
Yeah, that's a good overarching take there. All right, let's go game by game here. We'll do it a little bit faster than usual because player pools will be way more condensed, and there's 12 games to get through as we go. But Lakers and Hornets are the first one on the slate here. We saw Mark Williams sit last time out. He'll be going today. We saw Braun do something wacky on the weekend there with a downgrade to Q tag, and then ends up going back to a probable tag, and then ends up playing on Saturday's slate there. Kind of just a bizarre sequence of events when the Lakers have been so forthcoming this season. But you got probable tags on LeBron and AD. They're basically the only two draftable pieces. Rui's been ruled out there, and then the usuals have already been out. Bronny on the G League stuff. Gabe Vincent has a Q tag, which factors into kind of like secondary rotation stuff, which might give a little uptick if he's out to like Austin Reeves staying on the floor an extra minute and a half, something like that. But yeah, I mean, primarily just drafting Anthony Davis and Braun on that one. And then on the Hornets side of the ball, Cody Martin, that was a guy who killed me on Friday's slate there, played 4 minutes, got injured. He is out there. Trey Mann is out. Brandon Miller is still out. KJ Simpson, who played a little bit the other night, is out there as well. And then obviously without Grant Williams still. So basically only LaMelo Ball and the two big guys from the Lakers go every draft. Any love for them above ADP right now? Any interest in this game environment for auxiliary 6th-round guys?
Let me just talk. I mean, let me just talk through like Lakers and first, I guess. So I'm, of course, like taking AD and LeBron at ADP here. I think this game to me is like interesting because normally I would like want to attack both of these teams. But lately, dude, the Hornets are like not having like totally awesome fantasy friendly games lately.
They're slow.
And I don't. Yeah, like I mean, they held the Pelicans to under 100, the Blazers to under 100, and there's different factors and stuff involved with this, but like, I kind of have to rethink my stance on like the Pelican or on the Hornets and the Lakers, just like being like good targets for us in fantasy. So I still like LeBron and AD at ADP. I think the one thing that I need to like really parse through is where I'm at on LaMelo today, and do I want to have LaMelo behind like Scotty Barnes in his matchup or
Cade?
Like for sure behind Cade. I'm not putting him ahead of Cade today. Okay. But even like Dame, like do I want LaMelo ahead of Dame today? Like I'm not 100% sure. Okay. So he's a tough one. And then like because the slate's so deep, like it's LaMelo and Mark Williams. Really, like I'm not getting to Miles Bridges today, and the Mark Williams stuff, like ADP of 18 on a 12-game slate. I don't know, man. I have a lot of trouble. Like I am going to get to some Mark Williams because I'm currently at a point in time where like I am starting to capitulate a little bit more to the market as opposed to leaning into my takes and my own process, because my own takes and my own process have not been rewarding me in the last 2 weeks. So I think it's time to capitulate a little bit and like give into the market a little bit. And that includes Mark Williams being ADP 18 on a 12-game slate. Like I will just mix him in. I mean, it's still going to be a fade, but like normally I would have 0 Mark Williams, but I'm going to have a little bit today. Okay.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. Any love for the fact that we know Rui and Vincent are out today, and those are probable tags. They are not, we've seen some funky things with probables in the tags in the past. Any love for Austin Reeves in the last round?
I think he's scroll worthy for sure. Okay. I haven't done it yet, but he's definitely worthy of a scroll.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds good to me. Any concerns about the whole Mark Williams foul trouble versus AD kind of narrative?
It makes sense, right? We saw Mark Williams getting major foul trouble not too long ago. Like I said, man, I'm going to be light on Mark Williams, but like I don't want a full fade. Like a month ago I would probably be full fading somebody like Mark Williams.
Yep, I think that might be me this evening, sir. Yeah. I think I've taken him once, but that's about it. Just not a pace up spot. This looks like not a game that jumps off the paper to me. So I'm just kind of like,
same.
Yeah, AD's fine, Braun's fine, Melo's fine at ADP. I like Melo more than Dame. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at there too. All right, let's talk about Detroit and the Cavs there. As you guys can see on the screen, the beautiful unabated interface there, that the Cavs are 10.5-point favorites. Really nice test spot for the Pistons here, dude. Like this is a fun, like Pistons have played so well since Christmas. They've been better than like the Celtics, for instance, since Christmas and stuff like that. So nice test spot here against one of the premium teams in the NBA, definitely the premier team in the Eastern Conference right now. 235.5, 10.5 by way of the Celtics side there. And Celtics are going to be way more condensed than usual. No LeVert, No Okoro and no Dean Wade. We saw Max Strus play big minutes there. Mobley kind of still ramping back up. He played last time out there. Thoughts on Donovan Mitchell going in the 4th round, and then thoughts on 6th round Jared Allen or 6th round Darius Garland or even Evan Mobley scroll F down.
Yeah. I think Mitchell is like, he's in a fine range, right? Like there's nothing wrong with where Donovan Mitchell goes. It's just like, you know me, man. I'm taking Zion over Donovan Mitchell. So that's not going to lend me to a ton of Spida today, but Spida's been balling. Spida's been balling lately. And like, despite the fact that he has gone under his PRA, like pretty much like every game, the Pick Ems and everything else is staying strong on Donovan Mitchell, and back-to-back games of 56 fantasy points. Some of that I think has to do with the Mobley being banged up and more offense needing to be leaned on Donovan Mitchell. It's hard not to like him here, man. It's really hard not to like him here with Mobley potentially still banged up. The Pick Ems look good on Donovan Mitchell. It's right in line with everybody else in this spot. I'm normally not the Donovan Mitchell guy, which is why I'm like saying all this. So like I think it's fine, and I'm gonna have some Donovan Mitchell at ADP.
Okay, yeah, no, I respect that. What about the Garland, Allen, Mobley stuff in the last round?
Garland potentially. Allen and Mobley, I'm not getting to, but that would just be so fucking perfect for one of these guys to put up 50, because this is just what they do, dude. It's what they do. Anytime Jared Allen and Evan Mobley are off your radar, here they come with a 50 ball. Oh wow, like here's Evan Mobley with 20 points in the first quarter, like 3 blocks and 8 boards. Like it's coming. But I'm gonna have to just like put on a brave face for the bit here. This is the Dan Gilbert Bowl, by the way. Dan Gilbert basically owns like all of Detroit. And now they're coming to Cleveland to play his basketball team. So maybe the Pistons got something to play for here. I will say on the Detroit side of things, we're only drafting Cade, but I am getting way overweight Cade today.
Okay.
Maybe it's desperation, trying to find something, trying to find profit, but Cade, very similar Pick Ems right now to Sabonis, very similar to Cat. Even though I love Cat, and I do prefer Cat to Cade, I do take Cade over Cat sometimes, just because they're very similar. And this game should be fast paced, 235 total. I think Cade has a chance to outscore those guys, pretty meaningfully. So I am doing a little bit of Cade here, just trying to find something here on my non-Jokic teams, right? You gotta get weird somehow.
Yeah, no, for sure. Sounds good to me there. Just will note that Tobias Harris is questionable for that one, and Unabated gave him a little 5-point boost after going through shoot around there. So looking like they're leaning in the direction that he plays this evening. Not that it really matters for our 6th round consideration, but just in general interest there. Okay. If there was ever a way to derail a show, it is with one of the greatest super chats that has ever been thrown in here ever. Caleb Daniels drops by to say, give your thoughts on Jake Locker's NFL tenure from 2011 to 2014. Him and Nate Washington had a connection on the field during that. Oh man, what Bishop Sankey and Jake Locker could have been for the Tennessee Titans. Beautiful stuff there, man. I loved Jake Locker. I think I've told the story on the program before, because he was Fernie or Ferndale or one of those two, like one of the small town just south of the border, Seattle there. And our best high school team, who had won provincials like multiple times in a row, went down to play them there in senior year and got the doors blown off by Jake Locker. They were down like 60 at halftime, and Jake Locker had a defensive score, like 3 offensive scores, and a punt return score to start the game, and they were up like 60 Cobb at half. So I love Jake Locker, big UW boy. I actually have a signed Jake Locker, Ferndale there, Ferndale. And I always mix it up if it's Fernie or Ferndale. But I've assigned Jake Locker Sports Illustrated cover there. My cousin and I both got those ones signed, and he will forever be in my heart. So we had to address the greatest super chat that has ever rolled through.
That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful.
Good, clean fun.
What a QB class, man. Do you remember they put him and Cam Newton on like covers back to back? Like who you got?
Yeah.
Locker or Cam Newton? Genuine question. Who you got?
Jake Locker did himself a disservice by coming back to school for one last year, because he would have been first overall in the class the year before. And then he went back to school, got hurt, didn't have the greatest year. And then, yeah, because he would have been 101 the previous year, I think. Yeah.
I forget that 2010 class, but that 2011 class is funny. Shout out Tyrod Taylor, buried deep in that class as well. Probably like the fourth best QB in that class. I just did a quick peruse there.
Wow, that's a good one.
Sorry. Give me just like one quick second. You can continue to wax poetically about Jake Locker.
That 2010 class, he wouldn't have been first overall, but there was conversations because that was the Sam Bradford draft there. That's a really, really nice top 10 there. Remember CJ Spiller? CJ Spiller won people fantasy championships that one year. CJ Spiller was a dog. That guy was fun as fuck. Russell Kuhn, OG Bitcoin investor. Oh man, that was memory lane. I appreciate you, Caleb, for dropping by and derailing us with that. I will take a time out of my day any day to talk a little Jake Locker. Let's talk about the Heat and the Magic here. Lowest total and slowest pace on the slate by a country mile, yet a bunch of guys are getting drafted from it, but they're primarily late. It's mainly Paulo right now, who just goes every single draft. The Heat as 1-point favorites in this one. Jimmy Butler is going to return from the saga, and who knows? I have no idea what to expect from Jimmy Butler. Jaime Jaquez just popped up with a Q tag there. If you take Tyler Hero in the last round, I think it's fine. If you take Khalil Ware in the last round, I think it's fine. I will not touch Jimmy or Bam tonight. I'm scared of the Franz minute cap. We have yet to see him exceed that 24. Kind of a slow ramp up to 28. But
he did just play 30.
Okay, there we go. So you did touch 30. So maybe Franz in consideration in the last round, but it is not a good spot. Suggs has a Q tag, came back last game. It was the first time we looked like we were almost going to have fully healthy Magic again, with the exception of one of the Wagner brothers. And then he gets injured right away again with a hamstring there. So he's Q tag for today, but it's not going to impact our game because we're not going to scroll down to the Cole Anthonys of the world or the Gogas on a minute limit, anything like that. So it's Paulo and Franz on the Magic side, and on the Heat side, I'm not touching Bam or Butler this evening. How about you, man?
Yeah, I mean, this game is like kind of wild because I don't have a single Heat player ranked.
Okay, yeah.
Like I don't right now. But if I did, it'd be Hero. I gotta wait on Ware, man, because with Jimmy back, I do wonder how that hurts, how that impacts Ware, if it does hurt him at all. I feel like he's definitely the first one in that rotation to get bumped out. We just need Jimmy the fuck out of here. Can we just like get him moved? Like, have you been following Kevin Love's Instagram at all?
No, of course not, Nez. Tell me what's up.
I mean, this is like kind of your alley, man. Kevin Love is posting, a lot of clips, popular clips, and relating them to the current situation of the Miami Heat.
Okay, I like this. Okay,
like he posted the Green Mile clip where he's the guy's talking to Tom Hanks. He's like, I'm tired, boss. He said that's Bam to Pat Riley in the office. He said he just is like giving no fucks about commentating on the current situation for the Miami Heat, which is just very funny. Dude, this Heat stuff is annoying as shit. But like maybe some Hero here, and you could tell yourself that with this healthy Magic team, like they're tough defensively, but maybe they're efficient offensively and help things get moving for
Mhm.
for this game in general. And then on the Magic side, we got Paolo at pick 20. It's hard for me to say no to Paolo, even though he totally fucked me on Dog Bowl night, man. Just absolutely just destroyed me on that night. But it's hard not to like him, man. His minutes clearly are back up. He almost played 40, basically played 40 against the Pistons. One thing to note, I corrected you on Franz Wagner. He did play 30 against Detroit.
Mhm.
It might be because he was like the best player on the planet for 12 minutes or however
Oh,
long he
okay.
was in the game. He put up 25 points in the fourth quarter against
Yep.
Detroit. So maybe they were just like, hey, maybe we just got to keep Franz in because he clearly is feeling fine. And then
Mhm.
maybe they are actually going to continue like a cap or a restriction on Franz. Like, who's to say? Regardless, man, we can easily move on from here. But Paolo's the only one that I like. And I think he's fine at ADP. I would not fade Paolo.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just hate the game environment, but seeing Paulo get up to 39 versus Detroit was like really encouraging because he had been like this slow ramp up. I think using Paulo as a barometer for how Franz's minutes are going to be ramped up is probably pretty sharp. And we saw it go like 24, 24, 29, 29, 33, 33, 38 all of a sudden, right? Like, and that was the slow ramp up after like a 6-game path. I think I view it similarly for Franz. We'd be hard pressed to see like 35 tonight. And I think with such a low total, with such a defensive game here, with the slowest pace on the slate, I just won't click Franz today. There's other guys I prefer to click in the 6.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. It's fun. It's fun
Mhm.
to get back, because people are quick to forget. Franz was a top 4 pick for a little
Right.
while there for us, man.
Yeah.
So
I
we'll
think
see.
this is an interesting debate, the Paulo versus Zion. Like, do you want low total game with like potential of 38 minute ceiling from Paulo versus 29 minutes of Zion in a quote unquote smash spot? I've been taking Zion, but I think that's a very interesting conversation to have. Maybe with DeJounte Murray being back in, you should be leaning side of Paulo here. But where are you at on the Zion versus Paulo in the 4th round, 3rd round?
I think if I think about floor versus ceiling, I if we tell ourselves that Zion is playing no more than 28 minutes, I kind of feel like Paulo wins the floor and ceiling
Okay.
argument of this.
Sure. Yeah.
However, it's Zion for me.
Nice. Actually, I put out that tweet the other day asking people, who their favorite player was rest of season, non-Big Six. You
Great
chimed in
question,
with.
by the way.
I thought it was fun, because you can think about it through the lens of a player you want to watch. If it's a player you think you're going to be ahead of on ADP, do you think it's a player that the market hasn't caught up on? You can answer it many different ways. Ahmed Thompson was one of the most popular answers. I was surprised
Whoa.
less people or more people didn't say Zion. I was kind of surprised. I was surprised that nobody else said, yeah, Ja for me as well. Like, just fastest team on the planet right now, that sort of deal. But yeah, nice little segue into talking about the Knicks and the Grizz here. We had an OG night the other night from the Knicks. Knicks are 3.5-point favorites at home here, a 241, according to the beautiful Unabated there. And then the injury report, Hart with this Q tag. It was the same Q tag as which he had last time out, right knee soreness. So it's not the neck one that he LOL'd on Twitter at the Underdog official account about. It is this is right knee soreness, so of interest there. And then Memphis missed Santi Aldama for one. My God, dude, this Memphis team, we were so fucking right about them. I cannot stop talking about it. Nez, GG Jackson can fucking hoop, man. The GG Jackson playing the 4 instead of Santi Aldama when he gets full minutes ramped up. This team's gonna be a problem, man. I love this basketball team. Anyways, Santi Aldama Q tag. Zach Edey's been listed available. Jake LaRavia with a Q tag there. And then all the usual suspects are still out. Most notably Marcus Smart and Vince Williams there. So yeah, just thinking about this one. Macro, we get 2 Memphis guys getting drafted, and then we get 2 Knicks guys in the first 3 rounds there, and then the Hart Q tag in the last. So 5 players from this game routinely getting drafted with Hart and Bain as kind of like the auxiliary 6th rounders. How you treating it, dude?
I mean, I love this spot. Karl Anthony Towns, ADP 4.9. So I think you're starting to see him go ahead of Sabonis a little bit more. There was a pretty clear 4-5 there. I think you're starting to see Cat go ahead of Sabonis, which is how I originally had it. Like Cat in this spot. Like I know Sabonis against the Nets. No one's scared of the Nets, and we'll get to the Kings. But like Cat against the Grizzlies, man, I was like, this is the spot. Like what so I had a lot of Cat to start off. So he's fine. Not really a whole lot to talk about there. We understand Cat. Brunson is in an interesting position here because the spot is amazing for Brunson. And he's behind guys like Daniel Gafford, Kevin Durant, James Harden. I'll even throw Kyrie Irving in there, even though I like Kyrie today. I like Brunson ahead of the 4 guys that go ahead of him.
Okay.
Against the Grizz, like it's just a fantastic spot against the Grizzlies. 241 total. You don't get the Knicks in 241 totals very often. Right. So it's hard for me not to love this. And I thought Brunson would be getting more love. I think the Grizzlies are much harder to decipher and parse through today. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it should be. I think it should be pretty straightforward. But I'm looking at the pick ems on these guys and the projections. And I'm just like, I'm wondering what I'm missing. Because like Jaren Jackson Jr. PRA sub 30, John Morant, like, John Morant is fine. It's like 33. Like that's okay. I would expect it a little bit higher, but at least it's 33. I would expect Jaren Jackson Jr. to be looking much better in the pick'ems. Mm-hmm. And I'm sort of trusting my gut on this and being like, you know what? It's Jaren Jackson Jr. against Karl Anthony Towns. Why would we not think Jaren Jackson Jr. can't have a great game against Karl Anthony Towns and the Knicks in a 241 total? Both John, Jaren Jackson Jr. both look amazing. Like, dude, where are you at on this? Because I feel like I'm taking crazy pills that nobody likes these guys today.
Okay, I'll tell you why their projections are going to look worse than they normally do. It's because they're going to have this classic 10-11 deep where their bench is so effing strong, right? And it's their propensity to go deep in their bench in a pace down spot. So why it's so nice for the Knicks is you're adding like 4-5 possessions to the Knicks, and the Knicks are in a pace up spot. For the Grizz, it's a pace down spot against a pretty good basketball team, right? So you're taking away like 3 or 4 possessions, and then you layer on top that their rotation is deeper than it's been earlier in the season. You naturally have to weight all the mean outcomes down. Now, that doesn't mean that the ceiling isn't there if this game stays tight and this game plays to both total and spread, right? So I'm with you by way of ceiling outcome, but the ceiling outcome for me is primarily Ja, Bane, and JJJ. That's it, right?
Well, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm just like curious why, I'm seems like I'm the only one that's excited about these guys today. So I'm second guessing myself quite a bit, but that's a good point, man. They are like, I mean, and they're still missing Vince Williams and Marcus Smart, and they've got, 2 Q tags as well, but they are running super deep right now. Not seeing anybody play as like the minutes have gone down quite a bit for these guys.
Their MO all year has been like, everyone's good, so we can play everyone. And, Ja hasn't been fully healthy at times, and they're trying to keep everybody like in that 33 kind of like soft cap, right? So when you're looking for ceiling out here, like those Ja 38 minutes they're just not there anymore. Now can you go narrative based like Easy's going here and go like Ja at MSG, like, yeah, fade at your own risk? Absolutely. But like, yeah. Anyways. This is
who do you like more, Ja or JJJ?
I mean, I'll just always say Ja, like always. Like I just always take Ja. Like it's just
okay.
It's who I am, dude. I just love the fucking guy. But I mean, I think Ja has the tougher matchup than JJJ does.
Yeah,
because I think the OG treatment.
Who's OG guarding?
He was good at the beginning of the year. That's where I was going with that. I think he guards on ball and guards handler, but yeah, I mean, I could see him, playing off JJJ. I don't know,
right? Because Cat will probably take Edie.
Cat Edie seems soft and good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good shout here from Justin. It's like there's nothing more tilting than when the Grizz bench comes in and just starts blowing other teams out. Like that's exactly what happened and why the minutes for the starters looked low, even when they were super condensed on both Saturday or Friday and Saturday when they played the back-to-back. It was just like, oh yeah, the bench got them up by like 25, and then it was just like, oh, now we can just soft cap our starters at like 27 minutes is exactly what they did with Jaw, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe, a day removed from the illness.
Yeah.
Maybe he's feeling better.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hart tweeted at Brunson saying someone got to play defense tonight. That's pretty good. That's
good. Every night. That's every night.
All right. Let's wait a second. Hart left the Eagles game early because he had to play defense today. He's fine. Is this true alpha from Easy? Was Hart at the Eagles game?
Oh, he's all of a sudden decided to be a hoops guy and is just like grinding the alpha like nobody's business.
I respect it, man. Let's move on. Rockets and Celtics. Man, this is a basketball game I want to watch. It's a basketball game I don't really want to play in terms of in fantasy here. Just like two solid, good defensive teams brings the total down a little bit to that 221.5 area. Celtics by way of 6 points here. We could get a little bit of stuff that could potentially open up here to make it more palatable with the Sam Hauser Q tag and the Al Horford Q tag and the Derek White Q tag. So, I mean, if you get two of those three bodies out here, it's going to make Tatum and JB and 6-round Zinger look better. But it's still not the greatest spot in the world to get to. And then on the Rockets side there, Nez, our Rockets still without Jabari Smith Jr. and now Cam Whitmore has an illness. Cam Whitmore has an illness Q tag there. Ahmed Thompson and Sangoat basically go every single draft, and Jason Tatum goes every single draft. Who else can we draft from here? And what do you think of those guys at their ADPs right now?
For me, man, like on the Celtics side, I'm pretty sure I'm only I mean, I have Jaylen Brown ranked, but like I'm not drafting him a ton. I am drafting Jason Tatum. Like the last two games have not been great for him against the Lakers and the Mavs, under 40 fantasy points, both those games. Hasn't eclipsed 50 in his last 5, but like it's Jason Tatum, man. And I like, I know the Rockets are a strong defensive team and so are the Celtics here. I just like these Rockets games. So I am taking Tatum here. Okay. I think ADP 10 for Tatum is just like kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you. I was just jumping back to the site here. Let's rank these guys. Tatum, Dame, Scotty Bolway, Kyrie, and Ant this evening. How are we ranking those ones?
I have it right now. Tatum, Dame, Ant, Scotty, Kyrie.
Tatum, Dame, Ant, Scotty, Kyrie is the last one there. Interesting.
And I think if I was to go with my balls here, I would probably say Dame behind Ant.
Okay. And you like the Ant spot versus the ATL backups. Potentially ATL backups. Might get the Great Barrier Thief treatment, though.
Tell that to his Pick Ems.
Nice. Okay, dude. Do you have a preference between Jaylen Brown and or Zinger in the last round?
I think Jaylen Brown.
Okay.
Like for sure.
And then the Rockets side there, do you have a preference between Ahmed Thompson and Sangoat? And do you have any auxiliary Rocket that you want to take in the last round?
No, like no last round Rocket other than like Sengoat.
Yeah.
Whenever he's there, but his usage has been really interesting. Like he doesn't have too many good games since Amen has stepped up and become a part of this of this team in such a major way. Coming off a triple double against the Cavs, I mean, Amen is just a freak, dude.
Truth, baby, he's the truth.
And he's falling right now because projections, say that you can't believe what you're seeing. So I'm gonna have a lot of Ahmed Thompson, man. He is consistently available past ADP, and there's not a whole lot of guys I would take ahead of him.
All right. I respect that, dude. Absolutely. Just buying the player. I mean, not the best spot in the world, but buying the player in a big, big way there. This is, I was laughing when you were having the Cavs segment there, just talking about it'd be the most Cavs thing in the world that, like, Jared Allen just drops 50 in the 6th round and matters this evening. It'd be the most Rockets thing in the world that Fred VanVleet, aka Dick Van Meat, just all of a sudden drops a 50 burger in our laps from the 6th round as a undrafted scroll the F down on a game like this, in a game like this.
Yeah, I mean, he feels like he's always a fine click, no matter what the slate.
Right. Yeah, and it's like a fine click because that's the most descriptive way to ever put it. It's like, yeah, it's fine.
I
It's
know,
30,
right?
it's 38 fucking fantasy or 38 minutes at like a 1 fantasy point per minute, and if he mixes in a couple stocks, all of a sudden he's got a 50 burger.
Yeah, I'd love to have way more conviction.
Yes. The confidence is a little shook right now, Nez. I could see it. Buy into the man that once was. All right, let's move on here. Nets and Kings. There was something in the chat earlier about the Nets playing uber slow. That is true. Although it has ticked up ever so slightly with D'Lo being at the 1 there, and I think we're going to get a D'Lo starting at the 1 again today. But it's going to be hard to take any any net rather on a slate like this. But 226 total there, and the Kings are 12.5-point favorites. We've seen a real downtick in recent memory with Fox here, whether it's because both hands are banged up there, and he had, you alluded to the pad on his hand on Thursday, and then all of a sudden he pops up on the injury with a non-shooting hand, right thumb injury there. I mean, he is just deferring. He is deferring in a big way to DeRozan, who's been playing well in recent memory, and Monk, who went nuke the other night. Scoring is going elsewhere right now. And we never talk about Sabonis enough. I put him on the cover for the Dog Bowl slate on Wednesday just because he's a dude who's always at the top. He's been playing very, very well. He's been putting up 45 plus fantasy points like every damn night, but he never really breaks the slate for you. And it's just like, we don't talk about him enough. So anyways, Nets basically without everybody. Again, the Cam Thomas, the Ben Simmons, the Cam Johnson, all out there. This is going to be crazy condensed yet again, but it's going to be condensed full of bad basketball players that we probably don't want to click on. Might do D'Lo in the last round. That's about it. And then on the other side of the ball there, Nez, how are you handling the Kings here? Because I think they have some very interesting ADPs to talk about.
Yeah, I'm not like super heavy on Sabonis right now because I've been doing a lot of Cat and even some Cade over Sabonis. But the Fox stuff right now is, I think, lending to a lot more production offensively for Sabonis, and I think that's very real. Now, I mean, Fox still has strong pick'ems right now, but like I don't know that I don't have any De'Aaron Fox in my portfolio right now.
Dude, normally I'd be jumping up and down to take 5th or 6th round De'Aaron Fox, and I just like my eyes aren't trusting it. Like I still want to be in on it, and he's going to project better than where he's at right now. But like, man, I want to be so in on it, but he burned me so hard the last 2 slates.
And I don't think it's bad to like trust the recency on Fox, given what we know about the hand stuff. Like this is clearly, I think it's clearly affecting him. And it would be different if these were just like random bad games. But like we know what's up with this guy. He's got, his mitts are banged up. Like we're not playing soccer here.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's crazy. And plus, like with Monk, taking on a larger role, and there's DeRozan's out there too. Like even Keegan Murray, had a strong game. Like I'm not necessarily into Fox, and I do like some 6th round Malik Monk low owned as a scroll down today. I think he's one of my favorite scrolls today. Is taking Malik Monk, and if we continue to see deferral Fox here, then I think you can see Malik Monk have an awesome game against the Nets. And I think he's just such a strong play, man, because I don't think anybody's taking Malik Monk yet.
All right. Yeah, I respect it. I'm not sure that I've seen it Yeah, there. So yeah, especially if we're buying into the narrative, why not double down on the narrative, right? I mean, if you're buying into the fact that Fox is banged up and whatnot, and they're 12-point favorites here and whatever, like just maybe they take their foot off the gas a little bit with the dude who's banged up and they just let Monk shoot it up in a big way.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I respect it there. And any love for like D'Lo in the last round with all the handling in the world gone?
No, I do like D'Lo in the last round.
I do
You know,
too. Nobody else has done it.
yeah. I mean, like he has such a big role right now for them, and I don't think that the Kings are like a terrible spot either. So, yeah, I think D'Lo is plenty draftable in the 6th.
Okay, cool. Circling back, JK asking, no love for Jalen Green in the last round tonight?
It's tough for me, man. It's tough.
Okay.
Jalen Green needs to have like some of the strongest offensive, like he needs to be like one of the most efficient offensive players like in of the last 5 years to like be relevant on these slates. And the fact that it's in his bag is like definitely like noteworthy, but like not on a 12-game slate for me against the Celtics.
Okay, cool. Here's a big one. We never get the Raptors right. Raptors at home this evening. Probably the most meaningful Q tag on the slate now outside of Josh Hart will come by way of Jakob Pertl there and the Puddle Man with a 234.5 and 3-point favorites on the road for our pals there, Nez. We've already got Zion ruled in here. Zion has not played over 24, I think, something like that. What was it last time out?
26.
26 was the number. 26. Thank you. Yeah, 26. He played 22, then took 2 games off, then played 26. Looks like he's going to go tonight because there's no listing there for him. And then, as I mentioned before, we already got the DeJounte Murray rule in, which is that right elbow that keeps coming up over and over again, and then the right finger, index finger, something like that. So interesting stuff on the Raptors side. Obviously, no IQ, but Ochai Agbaji with the Q tag still there, and then both their centers in Kelly Olynyk and Jakob Pertl have Q tags there. So this kind of looks like a nice spot to get to the big, aka Zion, on the other side if one of those guys is banged up or if they can't go. But Jakob Pertl is going to project pretty well, and nobody's really touching him as a scroll EF down Q right now.
Why do you think Jakob Pertl projects so well?
I don't know.
His pick'ems are like nothing special.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, maybe
I like the spot.
Yeah,
I like the spot a lot, but like, I don't know, man. I'm pretty bad. I'm honestly baffled as to like why he like projects as like such a draftable piece here. Is there a lot of stock potential against the Pelicans that I don't know about? Like, I'm not entirely sure because like even in recent memory, man, Pirtle's been like a pretty solid 30 fantasy point player.
Right.
But he's but he's got a Q tag here. There's no doc for like the back stiffness. There's no doc for the fact that this dude hasn't played 30 minutes in the last 4 games. And it's famous last words to just like absolutely like balk at a projection.
Yeah.
But like I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Okay. So let's go bull case scenario for a half second here. Bull case scenario is bull case scenario is Kelly Olynyk sits, he plays, the back is overstated, Agbaji doesn't play, Chris Boucher doesn't pick up backup 5 minutes, and Orlando Robinson is the backup 5 who they don't really want to get in the rotation. So he only plays 8 minutes, and we get Jakob Pertl back up to 31, 32 in a competitive game. That's the bull case.
Okay. That's fair.
Now, do I believe what I'm selling with that? And do I believe it's even real? Probably not. I bet you they're probably pretty comfortable playing small against the second unit. If like Daniel Theis doesn't play the second unit and they use like Zion at backup 5, you could probably do Chris Boucher off the bench versus him. And then you don't need to go by way of Orlando Robinson, which means you have a 3 rotation at center. which means he only plays 26 minutes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just,
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't,
really stuck on that. I'm stuck
yeah.
on that.
Like, I'd rather click RJ at the same ownership in the last round.
And it's not even close. It's not even close to
Right.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take RJ all damn day. RJ goes undrafted. I if I'm not the one taking RJ is typically going undrafted.
Right.
I don't understand it.
Okay. Here,
So just to like put a bow on this,
mhm.
I love Zion, of course. Like Zion against the Raptors, like this is what I'm all about. I love this game in general. Like, don't get me wrong. I think this game is awesome.
Yeah.
Love this game. Love Zion. And I'm not really quite sure what to do with DeJounte, but I think DeJounte becomes obviously like a strong 6-round pick.
Yeah.
And then that's really it for me on the Pelican side. I love Trey Murphy, but like it's hard for me to get to Trey Murphy whenever everybody's healthy.
Mhm.
And then Raptor side, I like Scotty a lot today.
Okay.
And I like RJ a lot today. Gotta have
Okay.
a lot of RJ.
Yeah, I respect it. Yeah. Here's another shout from Noah here that it's just been foul trouble for Pirtle recently. Aside from just the injury stuff, there was foul trouble in a lot of those down minute games there. I'm trying to think. Let me look for half a second here. They played Atlanta twice. One of those games was foul trouble. The first one was actually a pretty good game. It was like 44 fantasy points, and that was like him and Akbaji going back and forth. The Orlando game was kind of a write-off. It was that bad game at home. He got foul trouble early. Milwaukee need his size on the floor. Boston tough. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of not buying what the models are saying about it too.
Time will
Uh,
tell.
yeah. I respected his our generations. That's fair. I like that. That was good. Yeah. Someone tell quickly to play basketball, please, please. Here's a fun question: RJ Barrett or Justin alluding to the fact that D'Lo is a 1.5 fantasy point per minute player since joining the Nets. Last round, RJ Barrett or D'Lo?
I still like RJ, but man, D'Lo has been everything that we expected him to be.
Right. Yeah, we talked about that one ad nauseum. All right, cool. Low total here for a Hawks game, pace down spot for them, and missing a lot of talent. Jalen Johnson and Trae Young both out this evening for the Hawks, leading this game to be a 217.5 total and a 10.5 spread by way of the T Wolves. You alluded to really liking Ant this evening there, Nez. I will just say Larry Nance Jr. came back and then started at the 4. That was very interesting to me, just looking at some of the Hawks rotational stuff. DeAndre Hunter has a Q tag as well in this one, and Ricochet has a Q tag here. So there could be a lot of stuff to work through here. Most notably, when we saw a similar iteration of this Hawks team, that was the night that Keaton Wallace balled the F out and put up like 50 fantasy points. Not sure this spot is as desirable as the previous one was, but I'm not leaving it off the table that he could step into that starting lineup again tonight, which would, muddle some things up there. But basically, Aneka Kongwu and Dyson Daniels are the only two Hawks getting drafted right now. And then on the T-Wolves side, it's basically only Ant in the second round there. Obviously still without Dante DiVincenzo. We did see Rob Dillingham creep back into that rotation and play almost 20 minutes. I think it was like 18 or 19 minutes. I just thought that would be noteworthy. Stash that one away for the future there, but not on this slate. What are you doing with the guys in our player pool for this one, Nez?
Yeah, I am taking a good bit of Ant. Projections and Pick Ems look really solid on him against Atlanta and their backups. I know this isn't the fast-paced Atlanta game that we're used to, but we have seen Ant sort of take a step forward. We've been talking about it hasn't been totally consistent, but things look really good for Ant in general right now and in this spot for me. I will say I think last round Julius Randle is pretty nice. Nobody likes Julius Randle, and
Yeah.
he's in a pretty good spot as well. Everything you can say about Ant, you can say about Randle when it comes to the spot. So, I don't think that he's a terrible 6-round pick either. And for the Hawks, I think the Hawks, man, are just like, so I'm verbal meme here, bell curve meme. I am in the middle says, no, you can't take Onyeka Okongwu and Dyson Daniels. They don't project well. Their pick 'ems aren't as good as everybody else in the 6th round. It's a bad spot. You can't take them. And then you've got, on the left and right curves, just, like usage go Burr. Like these guys, like you take out Jalen Johnson, you take out Trae Young. How do you not just funnel to Onyeka, who has been stepping up, in the last like 5 games? He's a completely different role and a great player right now. And Dyson Daniels, who has some offensive viability with the stock potential. I'm talking myself out of them for some reason.
Yeah, no, I like Dyson Daniels in the 6th round, and I'm a guy who doesn't particularly like Dyson Daniels in general. So yeah, I like it, dude. I like Dyson more than Okongwu this evening, and I like Dyson with the handling role and the big uptick there in the last round. So I like it, dude. And I'm going to take Keaton Wallace at least once tonight. I'm going to do it.
I never doubted it for a second.
He can fall into 35 minutes tonight. Why not? Who's more likely to play like some blowout run? Obviously the G Leaguer, right? So yeah, that was fun last time out with him. This rotation is one to keep your eyes on for the rest of the day here, because Dyson could look really, there's a non-zero chance that they could have like David Roddy starting tonight or something crazy, because if Ricochet doesn't go and Hunter can't go and Larry Nance isn't ready to go again, like who the hell's playing the 4 here, right? So yeah, this is not going to play into our player pool, but it just opens up so much opportunity and so much handling for the aforementioned guys. So that one feels good. Yeah, I think that's a good one in general, just to watch the remainder of the day, I would say. Let's talk about the Nuggets and the Bulls here. This is a fun pace up spot for the Nuggets here. This is the highest total on the slate, a 248.5 in Chicago there. Nuggets are 9-point road favorites this evening. I just wanted to share that Kobe White is still out and Torrey Craig is still out there for the Bulls. And then pretty clean on the Denver side. They got everybody this evening. They continue to roll with that Westbrook starting lineup. It's got to stop eventually, I think, just because the splits with the Gordon version are just like so much better. But yeah, who knows? It's working for now, so they keep rolling with it. Jamal goes, 5th or 6th round most of the time. Joker 101 with a bullet, and then the Bulls side of the ball, Levine, fun scroll the F down in my estimation today, and Vooch is like the only guy who goes every single draft. So what are you doing with this one, Nez?
Yeah, dude, this is a really fun game for me, obviously, right? 248 total here, but like, we don't have too many guys getting drafted, which is like, obviously it's a Joker slate, right? And Joker versus the Bulls. John, did you see what Joker's multiplier is for a triple double today?
At this point, it's 0.73.
Yeah, like I think it's exactly that. I'm pretty sure.
No, it's not exactly that.
I think it's literally like 0.73 exactly.
Oh my god, that was a sick guess. Oh my god.
No, it literally is. Yeah.
Okay, that was free. That's how you spent too much time on the app. But that's what I would list it at, man. It's getting crazy at this point, man. He does it in like 22 minutes sometimes these days. And why not against such a pace up spot against one of the flow charts for centers versus like this feels like just such a Joker smash spot.
You don't get a lot of 1.0 ADPs.
Right.
Like usually you get 1.1 if it's a good one. 1.0, like this might as well be like 0.9. Like
right.
It's just like you can take him before the timer starts. He's so goddamn good. This is absolutely a Joker spot. But like I think, just to keep it with the Nuggets here, Jamal Murray, I think is a nice pick in the 6th round. Doesn't get drafted every time, but a 33 ADP makes him, pretty highly drafted, but not, like I said, definitely not 100%. Your boy, man, you're not feeling the Russell Westbrook scroll down today?
Oh, I'm fine with it as a scroll down for sure. I'm good with it on this slate. I think it's a good spot for him. I think when this team gets serious, I just don't think he's going to be part of the starting lineup when they eventually make that switch with Gordon being ramped up to full. That's all I want. That's like more of a real life basketball take than it is a fantasy take.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine with Russ as a scroll the F down in the highest total game. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
I will precursor that, Nez, with your Jamal Murray take. Is it has been Murray playing the blowout run instead of Russ. So if this game does play to the spread and they are up by like call it 15 with 3 minutes left, I anticipate Murray getting the last 3 minutes instead of like Russ or Joker getting the last 3 minutes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that makes Jamal Murray obviously really, really appealing, even in Pick Ems.
Exactly.
But Chicago side of things, Vooch, ADP 20. I don't like the spot. I mean, I know it's a super high total. I'm not really into Vooch against Jokic here, so I'm not playing it. But I am playing LaVine. LaVine, ADP 33 now. I mean, for the good part of the morning, I was the only one taking Zach LaVine. And it was just like, why am I getting Zach LaVine at, in the 6th round over and over and over and over and over? I mean, PRA of like 35, maybe down to 34.5 now. It was just a no-brainer. It got to the point where I'm like, okay, now maybe let me take like Zach LaVine, then RJ, because I wanted to get both on the same team. And I was just getting free Zach LaVine all morning. I don't know if that's still the case, but I was just loving the LaVine spot.
Cool. Yeah, I respect it. I like the LaVine more than the Giddey, but I think both are viable as scrolls in the last round. And I'll give the stamp of approval on the Vooch thing as well. I mean, I know it's a high total game and it's decent, but I like other guys at the price tag in that same vicinity. Like he goes in front of Amin, like I'll take Amin instead. I know the spot is better for Vooch than Amin's spot is for him. But yeah, just give me Amin right now. That's just kind of where I'm at. All right, let's talk about the Wizards here and the Mavericks. Mavericks, we keep telling everybody to just keep it in the back of your mind. Luka's coming back at some point in time. Not quite yet, but yeah. Obviously, no Lively and no Luka, and now no Maxi Kleber, who broke his foot over the weekend there, and then no Naji Marshall or Dwight Powell, which is leading to Gafford having an astronomical ADP that is in the 3rd round there, Nez. I think that's a good conversation to have about him. And then the Kyrie one, which is in the 2nd round, sometimes 3rd round, depending what happens there. So, I mean, it's a good spot for the Mavs going against this lowly Wizards team and with a 231.5. But yeah, PJ Washington getting drafted some portion of the time in the last round as well. How are you treating the Mavs?
I like Kyrie a lot today, man.
Famous last words from Nez. He watched him one time, watches him one time live, and he's fucking back, baby.
We're back. No, but I mean, it's everything you said, right? The injury report and the spot. Yeah, give me Kyrie today, man, where he goes. The Gafford thing, I think, is way more hard to parse through. I mean, he's going ahead of like Paolo Banchero comfortably. I don't know that I agree with that. I mean, I don't agree with that. And I don't love that at all. He goes ahead of Jalen Brunson, dude. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Are we serious? We're taking Gafford over Jalen Brunson right now, but it's against the Wizards. So it's like, you can't hate it too much. I get how people get to that, but I'm not doing that, man. Like, I can't take Daniel Gafford over Zion against the Raptors. I can't. It's not in my. A man has to have a code.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I agree with you, man. I agree with you. I think he is like the easiest, like quote unquote fade spot on the board, but I know he's going to project well, and I know he's going to play a shit ton of minutes, and we know what the spot versus Wizards could be. So, yeah, it's a tough fade because like on paper, I'm like, yo, I like this. Like this, I should like Gafford this evening. But if you had to attribute a salary to it, like on Redacted, it's like, well, I'm not paying, $8,000 for Gafford. Like that doesn't make sense. Right.
Are you totally shitting me? Like,
right.
I'm so lost at this.
The Gafford revenge game, as Chip's quick to remind us here.
Oh yeah. Lest we forget.
Yeah, lest we forget that the flow chart for the Wizards was because of Daniel Gafford.
I never agreed with it, but It
Oh,
was
fuck
it
yeah.
was it was true regardless.
Oh shoot, man, that was fun. Yeah, I mean, okay, 33 minutes of Gafford or 28 minutes of Zion.
33 minutes of Gafford,
Yeah, or 28
28 of
minutes of
Zion.
Zion.
Fuck. I mean, I think you go Gafford,
Okay, so you won't
right?
move him. I kind of like Zion.
Well, I love Zion, but
Yeah,
if that's the debate,
but I don't anticipate
Gafford is
Zion.
a dog to get 33 minutes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I just
Right? Like,
I don't know. They got no fives behind them. Like let's think of it like,
uh,
dude, like they have no. It's Markieff Morris behind them basically. Like it's crazy. They can play small and they could maybe put PJ Washington against Joe Val. So second unit, they could slide PJ Washington against Joe Val and then bring on Prosper, I guess.
yeah, they got no choice.
Yeah. He's played
Uh,
33 like 3 of the last 4.
see,
That's what I mean. Like
this
this
is
is
what
crazy.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about when it comes to the capitulations. Like Gafford is like a screaming fade for me, or it would
Right.
have been in the
Yeah.
past. But like, I don't think that I can like. Ugh. I need to get some Gafford, man. I can't be out here with caught, butt ass naked with Gafford, man.
Yeah, because I mean, dude, with no that, and they're already out. This like it's not even speculative. It's like all of their fives are out in Maxi, Lively, and Powell, good Canadian kid,
Yeah,
Dwight Powell. And that's kind of wild.
It's another bell curve meme.
It is a Val curve mean. I mean, like 35 to 40 would be like insane to project for. That'd be wild.
Ugh.
Thoughts on DeJounte plus Zion? I think it's fine. I think it's fine pairing them together, like dime it up a little bit with DeJounte. I mean, I'm just not that bullish on DeJounte in general because he's been like one of the worst shooters in all of basketball this season. So like if I'm playing that game, especially on a 12 game slate, like I'm not really trying to pair teammates today because like, yeah.
Yeah, I would probably it's such a deep slate,
Right.
but could you tell yourself that they do well together because if the game is, I think they both benefit from positive game flow. I think they
Yeah.
correlate more than they don't, but
Yeah.
I don't have the data on that.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. I do think it's yeah, that's probably a good call. Okay, Nez, we've kind of had the Gafford one. Let's have the PJ Washington conversation. He had a very what did I call it? Norm Powell-esque line from a couple games ago there where he filled it up. Why am I looking up Norm Powell? Well, I'm trying to look up the Mavs here. Okay. PJ Washington here. He had that 37-2 and then had the 39, and that was a season high for him. And then he comes out and he layers 5 stocks on top of it the next game in a much worse matchup against OKC, puts up 59, and then he plays 40 minutes against Boston in a tough matchup when you were at that ball game. Are you drafting PJ Washington in the last round today?
I'm definitely thinking about it.
Yeah.
I haven't done it a lot, but I'm
Okay.
thinking about it. I mean, you mentioned you couple this with the injuries, the spot. I think you would be foolish to not think about it.
Yeah. Did you
I
know
haven't done it a lot though.
Did you note when you were at the game after Maxi Kleber got hurt, who played the backup 5 run when they played small? Did you notice when
Mm-mm.
you were at the game?
Mm-mm.
You were
No, 'cause it was,
schmoozing it up. You were at the nacho bar, huh?
bro. I was on the clock, man.
Guy was schmoozing it up, not paying attention to the rotations. That's good shit. I'm gonna look it up real quick while we talk about the next game. You know what? I got it. All right. Let's see. Max Kleber got hurt in the second quarter and did not return. They closed with when Gafford was not on the floor. Grimes came back on. Kessler Edwards. It was Kessler Edwards and PJ Washington slid to the 5, I guess. Interesting. All right.
Seems bullish for PJ.
It does seem bullish for PJ. That's kind of why I wanted to look it up and see what was going on. Yeah. Okay. Any love for the Wizards side of the ball? Jordan Poole, kind of the only the last remaining commodity that goes in the 6th round there. But any love for Sar or Kuzma or Joval? We know Joval's ceiling if they play small. Anything like that, Nez, or is it just far too thin on a slate this big?
I can barely get to Jordan Poole here.
Right. Yeah. It is. It is true. It is.
Let me check my boy Kuz. I know he had 30 and 11 against the Suns, man. Kuz might be back. But I'm not taking him today.
No, yeah. I mean, I hope Kuz is back. I mean, I hope Kuz gets traded, to be honest, but I don't know if anybody wants that money. He's I think we looked it up one day. I think he's got 2 years left. I don't know if anybody wants that.
No, they don't.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Bucks and Jazz here, 237.5 total. This is at altitude in Utah. Giannis probable tag this evening. 9-point favorites on the road there. The Bucks are questionable tag on AJ Green. Out without AJ Johnson, that doesn't matter. But without Bobby Portis, that's a big one there. So without Bobby Portis for personal reasons, and then Chris Middleton has a Q tag with that bilateral ankle, that injury management tag that he has been switching between probable and Q on most days. Bucks could be a little more condensed than we've been accustomed to. Hence, I imagine why you like Dame in the 2nd round there.
Yeah. Dame has been balling, man. And this is an insanely good spot against the Jazz here. Mm-hmm. So, fading Dame has been one of my tried and true, stances. The process was never that complicated for me. It was just fade Dame and take other guys ahead of him.
Yep.
Well, Dame has been putting me in my grave the last 2 weeks. So, I think it's time to understand that the Bucks are, it's resulting in a strong stretch for the Milwaukee Bucks. They look pretty goddamn good right now. And I think Dame's performance is a big part of it. And I think the Bucks you mentioned too are pretty, potentially pretty banged up as well today, where it could be, 38 minutes of Dame again.
Right. Yeah.
So, Dame is somebody that, again, dude, I have a couple spots behind ADP, but not the typical Dame fade that I'm used to.
Sure.
Man, he just completely
back-to-back triple doubles.
Dude, he had no business doing that against the Clippers. Are you kidding? Like 49 PRA against the Clippers? Are you fucking kidding me, man? Like, just unbelievable the way that he's playing right now. But this game I can't believe the spread right now. I guess that's just the best line. But I feel like the Bucks are going to win by 1,000,000 points tonight.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how everybody feels most nights about playing against Utah. Definitely some interesting Q tags that could change that on the other side there. Jordan Clarkson and John Collins. Actually, I think we did get an update. Let me go to Unabated real quick because we did get Walker Kessler ruled out. So I think there was a more recent injury report than what I am currently looking at. I got 3 unabated little... Okay, there we go. Jordan Clarkson shifted to an available tag. John Collins and Walker Kessler are out, which brings maybe Lauri Markkanen into play in the 6th round in our player pool there. But any love for... It's really hard to parse through the guards when all 4 of them are active there between George, Clarkson, and Sexton. But I could see myself getting to Lauri Markkanen in the last round now, just in some capacity, because I mean, they got like a 115, something like that. Like to imply
I think Lauri's a good pick in the 6th round. Like, I haven't done it yet. Like, all full disclosure, have not done it yet. But I think he's a good pick. Nobody's taking him. As far as size goes, I mean, I know he's not necessarily a 5, but he is a big guy, and that is a role that they need him to play in some capacity here. So, I think Lauri's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I respect it. Any love for anyone else in the last round on the Jazz? Like, I mean, 28 minutes of Drew Eubanks doesn't seem like we need it on this slate, but Yeah, anyone else like maybe playing whack-a-mole with the guards, like if Sexton
Yeah.
starts or whatever?
I mean, like it's not. Here's what I'll say: is it's not improbable at all to think that one of these guards can be a top 36 scorer today, right? And it could
Right.
be somebody that could be drafted. I don't know who it is. If I had to take a guess, I would maybe say Keynote. If I had to take a guess, it seems like he, to me, it's like Sexton just cannot take over a game, even whenever he's like the only guy on the court. So it's not Sexton for me.
Yep.
Clarkson, every now and then, Clarkson's just like, oh yeah, here's 44. In case you forgot, I can hoop. But yeah, either way, I'm not doing it.
Okay. Yeah, I respect it, man. I'm treating it very similar to you, where it's like you take there's two bucks to take, and then there's one whack-a-mole jazz piece. And if you want to mix it to be Sexton, Keynote, or Laurie, by all means, that sort of thing. I can't imagine Jordan Clarkson comes back and like starts and plays 35. Like I just don't think that's in the
We
cards. I
say
think
this
he's
every
coming off the
time, dude.
bench. I know. I think he's coming off the
I'm with
bench and
you.
it's
I'm
like
with you, of
26,
course.
27. Yeah.
I'm with you, of course. But like, it's just he's such a funny guy, man. Like
Mhm.
he might go like 10 for 11 today and put up 29 real points.
Right. Yeah. It would just be so Jordan Clarkson and so 12 game slate for some bullshit like that. All right,
Yes.
let's talk about the last one on the slate here, Nez. This is another one of those ones that's similar to like Rockets Celtics for me, where it's like, this looks like a good basketball game. This looks like a basketball game that I want to watch. It looks like the late night hammer in Clippers and Suns there, but it's also just a tough one to parse through for fantasy usage. Yeah, I mean, Harden goes every single draft, and that's basically it from the Clippers. Don't know what we're going to see in terms of Kawhi minutes. Zubac definitely in sixth round consideration there, but I haven't seen him get drafted a whole lot. Norm Powell doesn't get drafted. They are without Chris Dunn this evening, which is just a potential starting piece for them there. And then on the other side of the ball with the Suns, without Ryan Dunn this evening, which is going to shake up that starting unit for the Suns, which is not necessarily a good thing for Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, because it probably means Bradley Beal comes back into the starting lineup. And the most useful stretches we've had for the Suns are when Beal's been playing off the bench and they can distribute that handling a little bit differently, where we were getting those point Booker games. So I don't know. Do you think Beal draws into the starting lineup this evening, or do you think they just trust that, hey, that's now our bench unit guy? Let's go with what's been working. Let's replace Dunn with like Royce O'Neal or Grayson Allen to start, and then run Beal off the bench still. Just kind of like thinking out loud, because both of these teams look really healthy and deep outside of the Dunn piece. And the funny thing about the Dunn piece is that it might make it look worse for Suns handling in the first unit.
Yeah, it depends on like what their thought process is. Like
Okay.
I could totally see Grayson Allen sliding in for sure,
Yeah.
and then doing what they've been doing with second unit Beal. But like nothing would really surprise me. Is
Sure.
the cop out here. Either way, man, this is not necessarily a spot that I love to get to the Suns here. Usually, I've been pretty in on Booker lately with these new rotations, but I don't have a lot of KD or Booker today.
Yeah.
But I do have a good amount of Harden at ADP.
Yep.
I think he makes total sense. And I think Zubac is a great 6th round pick right now against the Suns, right? Like I know they got Nick Richards, that's cool. Nick Richards just like went beast mode on what lowly team did he go beast mode on? The Wizards,
Yep.
almost 20 and 20. Good for you, Nick Richards. I still think Zoobs can just feast here.
Okay.
I'm waiting for that next 50 piece on Zoobs. I've been chasing it.
Yeah.
I think he's a good 6th round pick, dude. I don't
Okay.
know.
No, I think that's fair, man. I think that's a good take. I think he is a good 6th round pick for sure. Absolutely. Okay, Nez, that was 12 basketball games. Holy smokes. Yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot there. Obviously, unabated projections are not out for another hour here, so not going to walk through the pick'em lobby there, but we could see, market-based projection in half a second here. I think it's long overdue that we hop in a couple drafts here. So back to the platform, other people, but I will ask you the one final last question here, Nez. We kind of hit on, all the guys that you were kind of above or below and whatever with market there, but I got to ask you the pressing question of the Scroll the F Downs for today. Favorite Scroll the F Downs right now?
Man.
I'll start helping you.
I think Zubac.
Yeah.
I think Julius Randle.
Okay.
Didn't mention Giddey.
Yeah, I think Giddy's fine. I think Giddy's fine. I think Randall's fine. I think D'Lo's fine. Westbrook's fine.
I do like D'Lo. I do like Westbrook. Monk's
a good one. Yep.
And I think Pirtle is a fine scroll. It's just like I just wouldn't. Just the projection on him was just like really eye popping. But I think Pirtle is a totally fine scroll piece.
Yeah, these slates, as we alluded to off the top there, Nez, are tough. These slates are tough because you're basically going to have players all the way from like pick 22 through pick 45 that are separated by 3 to 4 points in mean projection. So we're going to have to start telling ourselves some stories as to why those guys move up or down, whether they're matchup based, whether it's anecdotal stories, whatever those stories may be, or whether it's you want to ape in one isolated game environment and hope to find the high total close spread that goes to overtime. Like there's always that angle.
Yeah. When I was good at these games long ago, I was absolutely like picking guys that I just thought had no business being drafted every time and making them essentially a zero in my portfolio and pulling up a lot of guys that looked like they should be drafted that weren't getting drafted a lot. I think that is something that I like absolutely need to get back to today is taking more Zubac in like the 5th round just to get it, just to have it in there. And then force myself to get those more unique combos as opposed to waiting, taking a chalk 5th rounder and now having one scroll. Like I need to be pulling up more and more of these guys for the additional leverage and the better projection. Like it's the best of both worlds when you can do that. And today you absolutely can. The problem is like, that means I have to stop drafting these Grizzlies that I am trying to IKB.
Yeah, it's true.
Because the Grizzlies they look like they shouldn't be 100% drafted. Am I ready to do that?
I want them to be 100% drafted, but I do kind of feel similarly to you. I'm having a really hard time passing. Like just passing on Ja for D'Lo, like I just over my dead body, buddy. I'm gonna have 40% Ja. Trey Murphy, that's a fine one as well. I mean, would have liked it more if DeJounte was out because the handling kind of goes away and the shot hasn't been falling the last couple games there for him. He had a really smash spot on, I guess it was Saturday or Friday when basically everybody was ruled out and couldn't make way with it. But yeah, I think this is a pretty good comprehensive list. I think maybe one of the Miami pieces, or I think maybe Franz is okay if he finds his way back to 30 minutes again, or like Ware and Hero feel fine as well. Not touching Butler and Bam, but yeah, that's the list. I mean, Okongwu is probably fine, but he goes more frequently than this list would imply. So yeah, and then Lauri Markkanen or Keynote or one of the Utah pieces as well. So yeah, I think you're gonna have to find some ways to get creative with the last 2 rounds there and pairing like 2 6 rounds together on a slate like this, or getting creative at the front end of draft boards. And at pick 3 instead of Anthony Davis, you take up Cade Cunningham where he doesn't flip to the other side of the board or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I would maybe wait to pick 4 to do something like that.
Sure.
I trouble passing on Ant, but no, I think pick 4 is when you can start to get a little crazy.
Yeah, respect it. Guys, do us a favor. We got 300 and something of us watching right now. Yeah, if you guys are hanging out on the X side, come on over to the YouTube side, hit that like, hit that subscribe, notification bell. I led the show with it. We're going to be doing tons of stuff. Great time to be drafting on Underdog. They got football up already for you sick, deranged, crazy fucks. I just can't even believe it. We got Dinger. Dinger's up tomorrow for us. We're going to do the Dinger. Tomorrow's a 4-game slate with some back-to-back Q tags. We'll talk through it quickly, but not do the full detailed dive. And we'll focus primarily on the Dinger because we haven't done a baseball show together yet. Excited for that one. And then we got 2 Dog Bowl slates, Wednesday and Friday. We'll be covering those here. Joker with that flat 1 ADP.
Jeez. Who runs better than old Roto Run?
Nobody. Get your Mr. Good Boys in the chat. My guy is leaning on over here saying what's up to everybody. Yeah, and tell your friends that we exist. You know, we're not trying to hoard this knowledge. You know, Nez admitted he's not even very good at basketball anymore. So just come on over. You can tell all your friends that this alpha can be spread around to anybody there. And a couple shout outs in the chat today. Chandler Blake, our guy, gifted out 20 BadgeBros membership. That'll give you access to some paywall streams. One will be on Thursday, and maybe one will be on Friday as well, though Friday is a pretty loaded, large show with some special guests. So I'm not gonna hold Nez to doing a no strip Nez there. And shout out to Gabe Daniels, who dropped by with one of the best super chats ever, referencing Jake Locker for $5 there. Mad respect. All right.
I'm excited for tomorrow's show, you know, to do some Dinger stuff.
Yeah, me too.
I've been in the slow draft streets pretty heavily.
Okay.
I was doing like a fast bunt every morning for a little while. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling like almost like fully back into this thing. It's giving shades of BBM 5, man. I think there's some BBM 5 shark jumping happening right now. That
can I guess where it's happening?
I mean, I feel like it's pretty obvious, but yeah, go ahead.
I think it's happening at the starting pitching. The starting pitching, some elite arms being pushed down that people want to take the wide receivers at the top of the board.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, just like even with infielders, man. They're just people forget you can flex an infielder and they start the same amount as the outfield.
That's true. All right, Nez, I will ask you who you would like to take alongside Joker here. We kind of get
Scotty Barnes,
Scotty
face
Bolway
of this league. Yes, sir.
the only player other than Josh Hart. Add Scotty Bolway to this one, and then how are you feeling about the Kyrie scenario? Obviously, a great spot for him. Kyrie versus Harden, or do you want to scroll?
I mean, I can't let you take a chalk 2-3 turn, John. We got to go either Devin Booker or Donovan Mitchell. Or you could go Gafford too. You could go Gafford as well and go like full recency, bro. But we gotta scroll.
Let's say
Brunson. Kyrie. Okay.
I kind of liked some of the guys you alluded to, but I'm scared that Beal jumps in and steals some of the handling from that game. Don't love that game a whole lot. Donovan Mitchell's fine, but I'm kind of scared a little bit in the same regard that he's going to be falling back to the Joker drafter at the 4 in the 4th round at some frequency. So I think Brunson's a good push up where he never falls back, but he also is in a good spot. So that's, and if you get Hart ruled out, he might be in an even better spot. So
Hart's not getting ruled out. Come on.
It's true. It is Josh
Iron
Hart.
Man, Josh Hart, bro.
It is Josh Hart. So yes.
What the fuck did he play with in the playoffs? A torn oblique?
Oh yeah, he's a dog, dude. He's a hockey player playing basketball.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like that pissed me off a little bit. Like, why are you playing through a torn oblique? Chill out.
Easy sharing the same sentiment that Zero RB is moving over to MLB, except for it's 2 out of 3 positions. Couldn't agree more. That was the first thing I noticed as well.
You know what? Can we just one time, John? One time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not totally right, but like, I was pretty right about Matt Warner.
Yeah, I'd say you're pretty right. I mean, he warranted that back end ADP and came up and hit bombs like on a per plate appearance rate. The problem is he's Joey Gallo.
WRC plus, dude. 155.
He's Joey Gallo, man. He's Joey Gallo. He tanks or strikes out, but he doesn't walk as much as Gallo did. So it's more volatile. But yeah,
God.
that is a nice WRC plus there. Donovan Mitchell almost came back. I love proving the thesis that it was a bad flip the board pick. Amon Thompson comes back here, and then we can start having the conversation about the Memphis guys. I think we should do some scrolling.
I
Nez,
see your mouse moving, but I stopped hearing you.
you heard me? You got me?
I do now. I like Amon.
Let's take Amon here, and then let's do another little flip skis here because the Memphis guys are going to be popular. Sengun probably doesn't, ceiling wise, doesn't pair well with Amon there. Let's scroll down and take like Levine, Dyson Daniels, someone like this.
Okay, let's do Dyson.
Sure.
Let's really do it. Because I mean, like, you know, with the Joker teams, man, I don't think it's insane to be like, you know, you gotta, you know, it's today's slate is all about who's got the best Joker teams. There's going to be some really high scoring, good value non-Joker teams because, you know, there's 6 players in the lineup, but first place is likely going to have Nikola Jokic on it. Mm-hmm. And you could have a 1v1 with the Joker teams, or you could have a 3v3 with the Joker teams while everybody else is, you know, battling amongst themselves here.
Right.
The one of my best slates, the one time that I did take first, it was a 101 team that I had, and then I pulled up the third round pick with the 4th rounder. You know, so I really do think that there's something to, you know, the combinations that you're getting with the 101.
I mean, even more so on a slate like today, where everything seems pretty stagnant. There's not a lot of Q tag movement and stuff like that. And then also when there's 28K entries instead of some of these other slates we're dealing with 18K entries.
Yeah, it's a massive slate too.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with Easy here. Big fan of 33 plus ADP picks at pick 25. Fully agree there.
OG Kush though.
Yeah.
OG Kush, John. Dyson.
Yeah.
Question mark. Cap 40.
Cap 40.
Cap 40, bro.
He had 49.
He's cap 40. That's
he
what
had
everybody's
49
saying.
2 games ago, and he's playing without Trey and without Jalen Johnson, and maybe without the entire second unit.
John, he's cap 40.
He is cap 40. My bad. Yeah, I was surprised also to that question I threw out on Twitter there that Justin's alluding to. Josh Hart plays every game like he's on a 10K. That's a great way of articulating it. It's also very interesting how many people said he was one of their favorites to both draft and watch, Awen included. So, yeah, I was pretty surprised by the Josh Hart love. I always thought he was kind of boring, and then, yeah, now he's like, now I get it. You know, now I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there was ever a victory lap necessary, it was the Paul Skeens one for you. I know people don't want to give you credit because it was a full-fledged fucking homer take and he was a first overall pick, but you were right. You were definitely right on that one.
Yeah. It's just like, it's weird to be right on a pitcher because it's like when you're right on a pitcher, you win like nothing.
Right.
Even though he was the fucking G. And he still might be like worth his pick. This season.
Yeah, I mean ADP 101. Yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow.
I'm excited.
Jamal falls back to us. I'm kind of a fan because we already flipped the board with Dyson to just pair Jamal with Joker here and be like that game goes nuke. But I would also be cool to scroll and I would suggest Hero or D'Lo.
Sorry, dude. I like Jamal. I had no problem with that. I was trying to. Man, D'Lo. Can we do some pick'ems, man? I feel like there's a ton of guys in the pick'em lobby that like we feel are mispriced.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. Final team there was Joker, Scotty Bolway, Jalen Brunson pulled up, Ahmed Thompson at ADP, Dyson Daniels pulled up, and then a slight fall on Jamal Murray, which is kind of another rare combination pairing with Joker at the back end of the board there. So kind of a fun team there. We see Clip Fan basically pairing two 36s together. I thought that was pretty sharp there
That's really
in
sharp.
Mobley and Zubac, like two high ceiling guys that you can pair together. I am really worried about the Mobley minutes this evening, but yeah, that's I just
Mobley
think that's
looks like a good scroll projection wise, of course,
yeah.
and ownership wise.
Yeah, the Josh Hart triple double watch always triple double watch. All right, let's do this, dude. Let's go to that pick'em stuff and let's start talking about. I'll pull up Unabated on the side too and look through some of the stuff as well while we're doing it.
I would start with D'Angelo Russell.
Okay.
Fantasy point wise, it looks awesome, but I don't know what kind of multipliers we have on some of his other stuff. But his fantasy points is like 31.
I respect that, dude.
I think we both think that that's a nice one.
Yeah, 1.5 fantasy point per minute guy since moving to the net. Shout out Justin for that one. And yeah, man, there's gonna be all the handling in all the world for him to have this evening because no Ben Simmons, no Cam Thomas, no Cam Johnson. It's gonna be like him and Keon Johnson in that first unit with the handling stuff. Maybe Tyrese Martin off the bench. Yeah, this feels like a good one.
Yeah, I would love to start here.
Can we hit on one more thing for a half second here? Yeah. It's fucking nuts that Dyson Daniels is only 21 years old.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, why does he feel like he's on his third contract?
I know, right? He feels like that guy. Yeah.
But like 21 is crazy.
Man, our pals could have been so much nicer if they just kept him.
Yeah. DeJounte's cool, but man, Dyson on that contract is so much cooler.
Yeah. You know what's cooler than the guy who has like the worst true shooting percentage in the NBA? The dude who has a stock every single time he makes a bucket. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. All right, keep going here with this one.
Well, I mean, let's just go right to Dyson, right?
Yeah, I like it too. The Atlanta stuff feels fun.
Yeah. I mean, just like fantasy, I feel like fantasy points is kind of like where I'm just like thinking our edge exists here.
Okay. Yeah, I saw some Vit talk in the chat there. A little cry check. Good hockey name, eh?
Yeah, like that was so hockey.
Such a puck guy.
Yeah. Vic Krychek is the 103 on a 10-game hockey slate.
Yeah, exactly. I'm hearing some love for Paulo in the chat here. Easy's brought it up a couple times that the PRA looks good.
Yeah, I mean, he's a greater than 1 fantasy point per minute player, and I think you could probably bank on 35, 36 minutes for Paulo tonight.
Yeah, I think he's back.
And I think Miami just has, and maybe for good reason, a bad rap for fantasy matchups. But like, I also don't think that it's like I feel like you can be profitable by like looking the fear in the face and taking and being bullish in spots like that.
I like that. I like the looking the fear in the face narrative. I mean, that's pretty good. Be a man. I'm pulling up market-based projections as we do it as well. Was it PRA that stood out to you as well?
For Paulo?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good. I also, me, man. I just, fantasy points, but
yeah, let's do this as like a core here. I like this. I will confirm this. 100 USD on that one for the core. I'll then copy that. We'll reuse those players and add 2 more to it. Some speculation that Jimmy Butler might not play any defense this evening. That's fun.
I hope he does.
Smash Magic money line from the GOAT here, Sam Olsen. That's fun. Market-based projections showing a lower on GG Jackson. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Could never be me. I will not. I cannot. For those who are uninitiated and not on the Unabated platform, promo code BADGE below, sign up, 20% off there. But they just, in their Discord with their prompts and stuff, they will have a show that is live in 10 minutes as well. Fan will be on that one. And they got Josh Hart on the cover. So I don't know. Little foreshadowing. Who knows? Actually, Awen always loves a good heart triple double sweat. He says it's live every single night. Let's see. Just take a little peek at what that triple double is.
5x. Jeez, man, we used to get this for 10x.
I know, right? That used to be one. Someone else had another one in the chat earlier about a triple double that was fun.
Yeah, they did. It was it DeJounte?
It was Harden. Harden 17.36.
I mean, Harden, I like that a lot, dude.
Harden for 17.36, and also a little alpha from Brandon in the chat here saying Harden PRA. Last couple games he's against the Suns. I mean, I don't fully buy into like player versus DVP, team. Yeah, a little DVP narrative there, but like the fact that he's averaged 39 versus the Suns, I mean, it doesn't hurt your case. Does not hurt your case there. So okay, maybe let's leave this one out here, and then let's do the Harden triple double one, and then pair it with something. What can we pair it with? It's like just an itty bitty one. The Dyson Daniels one feels best.
I like that.
Yeah, Dyson Daniels fantasy points. That'll probably get us like a 14 something multiplier, right?
52, brother.
Wow, 52. All right, 1 BBM entry on that one, aka 1 Dog Bowl entry. Interested to see what they do with Dog Bowl tomorrow. I imagine they run it back again with 6-person drafts, but just interested
I think so.
to see. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll change the price point because they never tried $10 6-person.
I think that might be the sweet spot, like $15, $10 6-persons, because I do think people do have a hard time shelling out like $37.50 in a spot you normally like on a slate on a sport that you normally play volume. Like nobody really drops in and just plays one NBA lineup, right? Like football, sometimes you'll drop in and just play one $100 or one $25. You know what I mean?
I wonder if even $5 would work. I know it just feels wrong, but like I mean, you need to fill 60K in prizes.
Yep.
For $5, man, I think you might fill that easily because I'm maxing a $5 dog bowl.
Right. Yeah.
No question. Am I maxing a $5 dog bowl?
That's a good point. That is a good point. Like I played 50 of the $25 last time.
God, that feels steep. I played 100. I played 100.
Right. Yeah.
So and I almost scooped.
$2,500 right there.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know what the happy medium is.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting stuff. Nez, anything else in the pick'em lobbies here? I'm seeing just with the market-based stuff, Lowry Markkanen lower, Lonzo Ball lower, Kristaps Porzingis lower on the PRA. That one's kind of fun.
I wish I was good at knowing when to take lowers. What's the Kristaps Porzingis lower? Is it PRA? You said?
Yeah, PRA.
I kind of agree with it, but like what we might lose a little bit if Horford gets ruled out.
Right.
Like I mean, shit, it might be like one, by 1 basis point or whatever the fuck. But like,
yeah. If you had 150 entries, you'd win too. Well, I had 50 last time and almost won. So I don't know. This is 3 times, Nez. 3 times. Nobody's talking about it because I don't really talk about my lineups or myself that much out here, Nez. I'm not sure if you noticed, pretty humble guy. But 3 times top 10 Dog Bowl thus far, and a 4th place. And a 4th place finish in the football one during the season there too. If you want to talk about a dude who's been directionally accurate for the Dog Bowl, you're looking at him, my friend.
I mean, John, everybody's wondering. Well, why don't you play a little bit more, buddy? Come on, dude. Like you
clearly so many hours in the day. I think tomorrow we'll see what the price point is, but I'll do a minimum of 50 tomorrow. That's the plan. That's the plan. These guys like Zion rebounds. Zion board number at Zion rebounds would be it's going to age well if you end up getting 2 of the Toronto guys out on the other side. A little scared about Zion minutes just in general, but wow, 7.5 on the rebounds and you're getting a little tick. That could age like wine. That could age
Okay.
like wine if you get no Pirtle, right?
Yeah, let's play that.
Okay.
Let's play Gafford.
Okay, this is the Nez hedge. Yeah, Gafford. What do you like for Gafford?
I want to slide his rebounds.
Okay.
I know we're just necessarily we didn't talk about sliding here, but I think we should slide him to like 13.5.
Okay. I'm listening. That 2 gets us to an 8.44. Do you hear that?
Yeah, what did he just say?
I don't know. Apparently Tucker likes Gafford, man.
He just spoke English.
Oh shoot, man. Yeah. That was funny.
And then should we do Mark Williams? Should we just do the slappy play?
Okay.
No?
This is what we should do. I like this. We slide Zion to 11.5 and run both of them at like 8x.
Okay.
Like 11.5 is a big number.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But like that gets us a 40xer that we can have some fun with.
Oh man. All right. Okay. All right. This is it. This is it. I think this has that feeling.
It does have that feeling. That was shout out to the chat's suggestions on those ones. That's a fun one.
I can't wait to give the chat all the credit when this hits.
Yeah, over my dead body, buddy. I clicked the buttons. This is my pick 'em now. Oh shoot! All right, Nez. I think we should run one last draft and then call it because we only did one draft and we did a lot of time. If you got a dip, you do your thing. But I think
let's do one more.
I think we got to do one last draft because we're only doing one draft on a 2-hour slow feels bad. Let's do something crazy out here. Let's see what we got. Filled up. Oh, nobody runs better. Nobody runs better.
I tried to get in the draft with you, and I didn't get it. And I'm in real time. Like, what?
Wow.
Wow.
That's what happens when you got 325 of the finest people on planet Earth shelling out $5 a piece to hang out with us.
Jimmy suspended tonight. What the fuck did he say?
Jimmy, dude.
What did he do?
He was just like, nah waved the plane again. He now waved the plane again.
What do you think? What is the situation? He sits down in front of Pat Riley. They look at each other. And just, fuck you. Just get out. You're out.
Oh my God. When he's suspended, like, does he make any money?
No.
No game checks, no money. Like there's no per diem stuff. There's no nothing.
No, you don't get game checks for that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I knew you get game checks. I just didn't know if you got any like auxiliary money at all.
They still get paid?
Who does?
I thought Jimmy still gets paid. I don't think he gets paid for that.
No, I don't think he does. I'm asking.
Yeah, because then they would have to appeal, from the players' union standpoint if they wanted to. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if you can, if he's like refusing service, if he's like, he must be blatantly tell them like, guys, I am not trying. Right. I am like, what is he fucking saying to them? Is he spiking drinks?
I got some good context here. Left shoot around after they told him he wasn't starting. Crazy.
Way to stand up for yourself.
Wow. That's crazy, man. Yeah, he is. Yeah, this is true. Like he's got 300 million in career earnings.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a fair assessment because Sam Olsen has 300 million career earnings and he still cares.
He still grinds every night out here. All right, you said you like Ant. Ant comes back to the turn here. Let's take Ant alongside.
You could do the best plays here if you wanted.
Joker, and you think Kyrie Irving's the best play here?
I do. Okay. And then you can scroll after.
All right, let's scroll after. We did the scroll in the third round last time out. Let's scroll with the last two picks on this one here. We got the coach in here. We got A1 in here. It's good stuff. Do it for love of the game. Yeah. John does the same with Rec Puck.
John, we're not starting you tonight. Your second line.
Over my dead body, boys. I'm out. Cancel
Cracked
the game.
Beer.
Cancel the game, boys. I'm gone. Fold the team. One of my favorite jokes is always fold the team. We come in after like a 5-2 loss or something. I'll be like, that's it, boys. Fold it. Fold the franchise every game.
Probably gets laughs every time.
Oh yeah, classic locker room. My knees are a little shot right now. I'm not going to play tonight. I've played 11 of the last 14 nights, I think. Just
wow. All right.
My knee is hurting right now.
Jeez, John getting the illness tag, huh?
Yeah, I got the illness tag tonight. Zion comes all the way back to us, Nez. I think we're gonna like that one. I want to scroll, but man, we get Ahmed Thompson as well.
It's the inverse scroll when you can scroll up where you normally can't.
All right, let's take the two chalky ones that fell back our way. Zion's gonna project well. Ahmed's gonna project well. And then we're going to find a last one to funk it up with at the end here.
You might need a giga scroll, huh?
Yeah, we might need something big here. But Zion falling back to this side of the board is kind of rare, man. I haven't seen much of that today. I only did 12 this morning, but yeah.
Yeah, I would have thought you would need to pull up Zion to 2-3 to get him with Joker. So good for you.
Hello, Mr. Giveaway. Can you guys see that? Like he's like,
yeah, I can see his little head.
Yeah,
dumb little head peeking up.
Emphasis on the done. John Kessel. Have I ever told the story that I played Phil Kessel heads up at the Aria for like 4 hours one time?
4 hours.
He was a big poker guy, and there wasn't a big enough game running for him to play. And I was like, I'll play you, man.
Was this pre-Penguins?
I think it was probably Penguins era. It was probably Penguins era. Yeah. Because it was during the Stanley Cup Finals, and we were watching New Jersey versus the Kings. So that would have been years ago. Yeah. John has met literally every pro athlete since 2005 in a casino in Vegas. Yeah, not wrong. Actually, Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant used to play a lot in LA. They were fun. Russ was really fun to hang out with. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, 2012, that sounds about right. Yeah, I think that was something like that. Phil loved poker, though. Phil played poker a lot. He also drank a lot of beers and ate a lot of hot dogs, too.
I mean, you could see it on his face.
Dude, I just want to take Dyson here, and this will be a GM. I really like the Dyson pick, like in general, and that's rare for me to say. Little game correlation with Edwards. I'd hear you out on some other guys like Zubac.
Betray your viewers, man. Go ahead and take the GM. You know, you got the Zion pick. Go ahead, take your Dyson Daniels, get your comfy little EV, tuck yourself in at night, knowing that you played so well. And then when you see a dual scroll take down with a Jokic team, you're not gonna be able to sleep.
It's true. It is true. I will say, Nez, that I have placed the brand in such a perfect little subset of niche community that I can tell myself two stories at any accord. One is one extreme with the scroll the F down, and the other is the super extreme with the GM. So I can do both as I see fit. We scrolled the last one, we GM this one. But this is what we said, man. We led the show with it. The macro on the slate, what you said was, hey, man, it's tough to scroll tonight. And it feels like it should be easier to scroll tonight because we got 12 games to choose from. But some of those plays that are available in the 6th round just feel so palatable to click on when Ray Murderer, that's a fun screen name, I guess, Ray Murderer in the 6th hole decides to take Franz and Jordan Poole on the same team and do the scrolling for us. That Dyson Daniels at 36 feels nice.
It does. I can't blame you, man. But who am I kidding?
Should have scrolled to Mac Hollins of the NBA.
I don't
Dude,
know who
this
that is.
yeah, I don't know who that is. Have you heard this Chris Moneymaker? Obviously, you know the whole aura of Chris Moneymaker, but did you hear Pat McAfee talk about it?
No, I've never heard Pat McAfee talk about anything on purpose.
Nice. Dude, his story was actually pretty epic. He had a full ride scholarship to Kent State to be like the kicker or whatever. And then he wanted to go to this kicking camp that he got invited to in Florida, but he didn't have the money to go to it. And his dad wouldn't pay for it and his parents wouldn't pay for it. So he went to like a poker game. And this was like peak like moneymaker era where everyone thought they were going to get rich playing poker, right? And he went and played like in a side game, got the $1,500, he won $1,400 or something that night, took himself to the kicking camp, and then got the scholarship to West Virginia. And he said without that scholarship, like he's probably not sitting here. The trickle down effects of his life were all from being the luckiest poker player one isolated night, like that one night. It's a pretty cool story.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Mac Hollins of the NBA is probably Dylan Brooks. That's pretty good. He's just the sacrificial X.
I can't co-sign that. Dylan Brooks is kind of a dickhead. Mac Hollins is the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, that's true. Dylan Brooks is the only non-good Canadian kid I've ever met. All right, dude. That's tie bow on it. 300 and something people still hanging out. Please consider signing up at Unabated. Promo code BADGE. They have a brand new NBA DFS tool that gives you access to projections in 21 minutes time there and the beautiful interface we were using. If you're not playing on Underdog Fantasy, what are you even doing? Get on in these streets. They're so fun. There is baseball, basketball, football, all for your liking right now, and a little bit of golf as well there, Nez. Any parting words for the people, my friend?
No, I will see you in the lobbies and, one last time, baseball tomorrow, guys. So Be ready. It's going to be fun.
Love it. Can we take Tyler Hero, Bam, or Khalil Ware in the last round now with Jimmy Butler being out?
Khalil Ware only.
Oh, everybody's favorite time of the show. Peace.